So let's see if we are live. Hello, everybody. I still have a minute. Watch now. GQUAT Traditions. Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming and welcome. Welcome aboard the GQUAT family reunion buzz, where good friends become family and family is everything. So, hello, I bring it every day. Thank you for checking in early. Cheryl Faulkner. How are you, my sister? Martika. Auntie Bev Jones. Hello, 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 everybody. Whoo! You made it during the daytime. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you did. Ah, and so did I. I feel like I set my clock and I was looking and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's 4 o'clock. Where did the time go? Where did the year go? Do you guys realize today is June 1st? Here in the Northeast and in like the zone 6A, 6B, except people who took chances. I'm not a risk taker at all anymore. I've used up all my risks, all my extra blessings. If a cat has 9 lives and I've had 9, I've probably used up about 8. I'm taking pretty good care of this last one if I can. If I can. So, what garden zones are you watching from? I see everybody else eating their food. Oh, Teresa Bailey, how are you? How are you, Dad and your son? I think that most of us from, say, Connecticut North just started planting Memorial Day weekend. So, who was out there this morning putting stuff in her community garden? And oh, a funny thing happened Memorial Day. Memorial Day. Time flies when you're having fun. I always have fun. I enjoy life. Anything I don't like, I don't do. And everybody knows it. Dad, I'm a real daddy's girl. And Dad always let me get away with things. All the other kids would say that I was daddy's favorite. I don't think so. I think because I was the oldest, that he and my mom depended on me the most to take care of the others. So, as such, I had privileges like they had to listen to me because somebody had to be in charge. Would it be the youngest one? No, it would be the oldest one. But anyway, Daddy came to California one year. It was like after the big fires and the riots in LA, and my husband was in high rise construction. We were actually business partners at the time, and I wanted Daddy to do something. And Dad had a construction business all the time I was growing up, and I wanted Dad to do something a certain way, and he just looked at me. He said, "You are so exasperating. When you can't have your way, you won't do no way at all." Boy, did he tell me off. Hey, Robin Murphy from South Carolina. Yay! If you have a garden, I know you're eating out of yours already. Oh, and it's difficult trying to chat, trying to work, trying to do stuff. Last week when I was telling you about my husband, I'm a widow, but we were talking about him driving fast in his all of his fast cars. He used to collect cars, but I said that we usually watch the Derby. And I didn't mean to say the Derby. What I meant was that it was the Indianapolis 500. But you guys kind of knew which race it was. Hello, G Mama Grows. Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome. That looks like somebody named me or Mana Yankee Sister Homestead. Ain't nobody talking to her. She she can't come she can't come by here, but all her garden is planted. She's eating out of it. She's got this and that. She's got famous gardeners coming by her house filming stuff, and then she wants to cry about oh, I don't have any fabric. She don't have any fabric because you spent all your fabric money on seeds. Okay, so now I'm hiding that comment. And Mike, thanks for the shout out. Maria Graham, thank you for coming and welcome. Hi, Sissy Joanne Stevens. Hopefully, you're out of the doctor's office since you have time for your sister. So, Monday, you guys, minding my business. Gina, staying on my budget. I'm actually really good at budgeting, but somehow don't bully Yankee Sister. Yankee Sister's armed and dangerous. You better recognize. And she doesn't have asthma, so she says what's not her garden is not done yet. Battle says. So Memorial Day, recognizing the veterans, I said, so my monthly budget isn't over until June 1st. I'm not spending 1 cent today except for the medication I'm going to pick up and some fabric that I had ordered. And the Joann's is right next to the place where I was going to pick up my medicine. So I pulls up to the Joann to get my fabric, and I look at it. I have someone who who commissioned me to make an all red quilt. So I'm not making it one color reds. I'm making it scrappy with lots and lots and lots of reds. I don't know if you can see this quilt in back of me. I changed it for you guys. This is one of my most favorite quilts I've ever made. It's called Royal Purple Stars. And I'll actually to make a video of it because I never have. And it's got all this custom quilting. I don't know if you could see like all in here. All these are gold dragonflies. Each star is different. It's a kaleidoscope quilt, and each piece of the star, like this star has this point of the star has 1, 2, 3, 4 different fabrics in it. It was really, really, really difficult. That tested my skills, that one. And then how I became a long arm quilter, I took this quilt top. I was in a hurry to put it in a quilt show. Thank you, G Mama. And thanks for pushing the like button, everybody. And I said I wanted some custom quilting, like up in the corners, there's a little dragonfly quilted. In here are feathers. Here are like diamonds. But we talked about, thanks, Sissy. She says it's a beautiful quilt. Most of you who have been following me know that I like purple. Oh, the close up. Auntie Bev, I will take a close up picture of each star, and I will turn it around. It's really a big quilt. It's 81 inches. Actually, it's long because it would go across the bed this way on a queen size bed, and it's 95 inches wide. Hi, Robin Murphy. Hello. Thanks for coming and welcome, everybody. But going back to how I became a long arm quilter, when I went to pick this quilt up and pay for it, and I still had to do the binding, mind you, and I do it by hand. This quilt, just the quilting alone, all these specialty fabrics, these batiks, these blends, these gold, I don't know, I paid a fortune for them. And she charged me $800. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, $800 just for the quilting, in it. So I said, oh, guess what? I'm in the game. I want my own long arm machine. And so I built a 1,500 square foot studio on the property. And she's going to get his tablet. Okay, Mike, because you have some really good ideas. some really good ideas. Auntie Bev says, "Woo, Wayment, yeah, they got me." But this it's amazing work. It's amazing work. I've never used it or put it on my bed or anything. It's just one of my show quilts. Hi, Brampton. Thanks for coming and welcome. Welcome aboard the GQUAT family reunion bus. I actually feel like it is kind of a family reunion. I'm first met Brampton and Mona sifting some soil in a challenge that we were in last year. And it was my first year of having container gardens. I've had a few containers, but now my entire community garden is all containers. And how I got into that that gig, I won a giveaway from Broke Farmer, and it was $25. And I had just found out about getting containers from the Dollar Tree. I took that little $25 and went to the Dollar Tree and bought 25 containers, took my soldering gun and put holes in it. And most of my first containers are from there. So yep, Universal Gardeners. I still have my little shirt and I love it, love it, love it. So everybody, it's what I want to talk about today while we're chatting is I know a lot of you say that you don't have time to quilt. Fitting everything in is like having a budget. There are some things that you have to do, like pay your rent, your mortgage, your car note if you have one, buy food. You kind of have to budget your time for pleasure as well. You can't, like, all work and no play makes you an unhappy person. And unhappy people don't thrive. Unhappy people don't thrive. Yankee Sister says, win, win, great luck. I do win a lot of things because I'm usually watching on TV and doing something in the background. And I have my phone or my iPad right next to me. And I said, well, I'll just stick this in there. But I must have really fast Wi Fi or something because it goes through right away, right away. And I do win a lot of things. So, G Mama, I'm on my phone as well. I forgot to give my own self the thumbs up. Excuse me. So I've had a busy week planting, planting, planting. Oh, I was telling you about before I took a sidetrack, a lark and a meander, as they say in the legal field. That means when you're supposed to be doing one job and then it's called a lark and a frolic. It's a legal term meaning you're supposed to be on your job doing one thing and then you take a sidetrack. So coming when I get to Joann's, I look at the fabric. It didn't look red at all. Red at all. Hello, Rudy Iraheta. Thank you for coming and welcome. I've been seeing you riding around different restaurants and stuff. And I looked at this fabric. I'm like, I can't put this in this person's quilt. So the person who brought it out to the car, mind you, I'm staying on budget. I'm not going in Joann's and touching things because they fall in my cart. Yankee Sister said she can't. So I looked at this fabric. I said, this is absolutely ugly. One of them looked like it had like orange and the other looked pink. So I get out and I go in there, walk around the store, and I did get the two replacement pieces. So, okay, I get my medicine. I have the fabric. I'm coming home because I want to get ready to start planting all these things that have been in here, trying not to draw gnats and whatnot for the last 2 months. And I can't get out of the parking lot at Walmart. Why? Because it's Memorial Day parade. Woo-ha! They were getting it. They were having it. So, hello, Charles. Thank you for coming. And I know you from Can't Stop Walking. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming. So, yep, things in the cart. So I'm minding my own business. I didn't get anything extra. I exchanged the fabric. Kind of ticked me off too because they forgot to give me the 25% from extra for going into the store. And they just took up my time. So I'm putting in my GPS because I thought I knew the area around there, but I took some turns. I'm following traffic, and where do I end up? On a street in the mall that's between the Aldi's and Kohl's. So, hey, Mona, sifting some soil. We were just talking about us meeting and for our Universe Soil Soldiers last year. So I followed the traffic around. I said, you know what? I'm not falling for this trick. I'm staying on my budget. It's the first time I get to the end of the month and I didn't have to pinch out of somewhere or call my sister Joanne, to hit me up for a couple of days. And so I put the parameters in, or the not the parameters, the directions in the address to get home from there on all these back roads because there are mountains. And I end up in my favorite nursery. My favorite nursery is on this street called Paradise Road. Well, you have to go out of your way to get there. So I'm following GPS, and what does it say? At the next light, turn left onto Paradise Road. What? This is a total setup. Boy, the devil is always busy, always busy. So we get down, and when the car gets to, and it's an SUV, by the way, when it gets to this nursery, I'm like this. All of a sudden, a U-turn. I'm in there. I made a quick little video about sleepwalking again. And they have not gone up on their prices. This place is unbelievable. So, what do gardeners do? We help each other out. So, I wanted to help my neighbor. It's only about 3 miles away. So, they had 2 feet and jumped in the cart, Yankee Sister said. So, I go in the nursery and I'm asking the guy about the plants that were outside because I actually have a lot of things started in all my hydroponics and some in soil. So the gentleman says, oh, go into the greenhouses back there. We've got a lot more stuff. Oh, hail to the no. I am not. You all are not setting me up. I said I wasn't going to do it. So I went in, and a 6-pack, the little pony packs, the little 6-pack is only $2.99. $3 divided by 6, that's only 50 cents each. So that's like 49 cents each. How can I not go help my neighbor and give them some business? Because I want them to stay in business forever. Yankee Sister might decide to come over there and use them. So then they have this special. So if you get 8 6-packs, 8 times 6 is 48. You get all of them for $20. Yeah, 48 plants jumped in the pony pack. And then I get to the car and I said, oh, miss, can you put a little water on here? Because I knew I was supposed to be working on Miss Mignon, that art quilt, because I had the final Zoom meeting that evening. So, for $20. And so I got 2 6-packs of basil. I use a lot of basil, and the rest different lettuces. But I saved on my grocery bill because if I go in the store and get a head of lettuce, and I don't even know if it's organic or what, it's like $4.99, $5 for one head. So, like even 8 heads of lettuce for 8 weeks would be $40. So they had to come home. It's like, that guy who's been winking at you all night, that girl that's been winking at you all night, they followed me home. They followed me home. Anyway, mother, if you're listening, not really. I'm just kidding. My mom likes to watch, but she doesn't say anything. She's just excuse me, in the bushes. So I don't know what happened to what I was trying to do. Just a minute, because I want to show you guys some interesting things. Bumping. Okay. That is a good price, and they haven't changed their price for all this time. So those of you who are asking about this quilt, this one, I fussy cut the center with flowered fabrics, and then there's some kind of purple. I made my sister Della a quilt, a whole quilt out of these pansies in yellow. This purple, each star has different fabrics, but like I said, I will take, I will take and make a special video of for that. I went down to my garden this morning, and I did plant all 48 of those. Plus, I think I had about 10, 12, 15 strawberry slips from the Bull's garden. I planted those in my high rise planter. Yankee's sister said she'd do a U-turn for that price too. You can't beat it, and you're helping someone. So let's go to the mail call. A couple weeks ago, I was talking. I opened some mail from my cousin who has a family channel, and it's called Story Joy. And in it, her name is Dr. Norma D. Thomas, and her daughter has a doctorate as well. And they're talking about the 5, 6, 700 years of family history that we've discovered. And this is their cup. They know that I like purple, and they sent me a cup. That's actually their picture and the logo on their site. So she sent me a coffee cut for supporting the family channel. Oh, what happened was, thank you, Maria Graham. She says I'm doing a good job. So while I was in Joann's, mind you, I didn't even take a cart. I picked the two bolts with the fabric that I was replacing that ugly stuff with, and went in there. And then I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute. On my app, I have a 60% coupon for one item at regular price. So I'm like, what do I want that's always full price? They never discount it. And guess what I got? Remember, I was telling you what I use to press my quilts? This quilt has been pressed for like 10 years, and it gets wrinkles in the folds, but it's called Best Press. And I've got lavender scent, and what I like about it is not that what it doesn't leave those little flaky things like the starch. Yankee Sister says, way too hot to plant today. Plus, the dandelions blowing stuff is making me wear a mask outside. I was out there at, hi, Darth X. Thank you for coming. And I hope all your sunflowers are in the ground out there. So I go outside at 8:30. I have a helper that comes a couple days a week from 6 in the morning till 8:30. I made sure it's early. So every day I take Hershey outside at 8:30. I've done my little PT exercises, and then I walk. And since I have a community garden, I just keep going around and go to my community garden. So this is what it looks like. So the 60% coupon, dun, 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 Gina will be proud of me. And it was like $15.98 with the coupon 60% off. It was $4.98. This will last me a year, the little bit of quilting that I am doing. Okay, so for those of you who are new or unfamiliar with the channel, this is a variety channel, and as you see, it stands for Garden, Quilt, and Art Traditions. I cook from scratch, even though I haven't been cooking a lot lately. It's kind of hard. My place is small, and with the gardening going on over here, the quilting, other art, some of the things I do with you are not the bigger projects that I that I have that I'm doing in the background. The Miss Mignon I'm going to show you because she has her jewelry on, her eyes are detailed. Hello, Mike's Chaotic Gardening, Barb Brownlee, and thank you for coming and welcome, welcome. Well, one of the things I posted a short, and we were talking about rag quilts and how to connect them without sewing. And someone asked about, I'm sorry, rag rugs. Auntie Bev asked me about rag quilts. We've also done that. Hello, Unbiased LLC, Rachel and chat. Thank you for coming and welcome. Let me turn sideways so you could see this purple quilt with all the royal purple stars. Every star is different, every single one of them, and I love them. So, the difference between making a what they call it a bed, you can make a bed by crocheting it and doing the strips the same way, or you can make a rag rug. You can, this is a good day if you, a good time if you have children. When I did this project, when I used to work for the city of New Haven in the summer part time as an artist, we would go to different communities and do different art. Thank you, Unbiased. I know you like purple. I hope you got your purple goodies. I hope you got your purple goodies and the other things that I sent. So about the mat. I don't know if you saw the one I made for Stacy, Hands in the Dirt. This is a size Q crochet hook. Yes, men crochet. A lot of men crochet, and they should. They like the things that are made. It's like cooking and doing chores. This is a size P on the bottom. So by using this really big hook, it makes it very thick and a very big padded thing. And since you guys have not seen me work on this, see if I can push you back so that you can see my lap without me dropping. There it is. Without me dropping this, because this is really big and it's made of plastic bags that are cut up the same as the strips for a rag rug. So you can make a rag rug out of cloth or you can make it with plastic. And when you make it with plastic, it's called plarn, P-L-A-R-N, plastic yarn. But I want you to see how big this sleeping mat is. I'm going to make it 6 feet long, but look. And it's actually heavier than I thought. I've been working on it quite a while. It's just a single crochet. And what this is are upcycled mylar bags that I cut these into 2-inch strips because they're bigger than the little plastic bags from the store. But the reason I'm telling you about the little plastic bags in the store is because you can cut them up and make a rug that you use outside. It's washable and you can use it in your garden. You could use it in your cars, your trucks. They have thousand uses, 1,000 uses. So I will show you how I did this. This is just a single crochet. Mona, whew. This is, I'm going to make it 6 feet tall, like I said. That's how long the average bed is, which is 72 inches. it's a little over 4 or 5. It's about 50 inches now, and it's a single crochet. And a single crochet usually has, I bring it every day. She crochets a lot. I'm where the stitch on a single crochet has 2 loops. I go into the back one. So this is what I do. And if I'm behind on this one, it's Mona sifting some soil. She was on vacation for a while, and this is what I usually do on Sunday night because it's so big and I have it on the bed. I have all these strips already connected. I show you if you're doing it in cloth and you look back at my shorts the last couple of days, you will see me connecting it without sewing. So I'm going into the back stitch and it goes really fast. I'm going to do 1 row just so that I can see you. And then the last stitch of the row, I like to go in both loops. Just makes it a little bit sturdier. So I've been working on these a few months, and that's what you do. The things that are important, like your budget, you do those first. Eating, having organic food, that's important. So I do that first, and I will crochet 1 row. This row is, I think, 30 stitches with this big Q hook. Let me see what you guys are saying. Oh, everybody's speaking to each other. And another thing, nope, my fingers are never idle. I told you growing up, if you were bored or you weren't doing anything, my mom said idle mind is the devil's workshop. You got what? You got more chores to do. So I always looked busy whether I was doing anything or not. So I'm going in the second stitch from the hook. And if some of you have carpal tunnel issues, you can wear those gloves, those special gloves. But I want to show you how fast 1 row goes. So I have this big old thing. Now you see why I do it on my bed. Why? Because there's a 55-inch TV in the bedroom, and I sit in front of it and watch everybody's videos. And this thing is heavy and big. So I have it on my lap. And I usually wake up at night, but I've been so busy getting things ready, trying to garden. I missed Mona Sunday night. I had to watch the replay, even though I didn't get around to commenting on it yet. Okay. So this would be how you make a prepper bed. Or I said I was going to give this to a homeless person. What I'm going to do is when I finish it, crochet a strap so that I can make it like a bedroll. You know, like the cowboys used to have the bed rolls, and roll it up. Roll it up. Roll it up. And you see how this could easily fit onto one of the homeless carts or something. And I'm going to make a strap that you could carry it on your back for camping. You could put it on your backpack or whatever. So, ta-da! Hello, everybody. I'm back. But now the same yarn, right? Oh, this is a piece that didn't get connected. And the way I do the plastic when I cut it in loops. Oh, and by the way, if you're going to use old sheets for making rugs, Now is a good time to go to the different secondhand stores, whatever. I don't like white. I don't like white in my quilts unless it's like something I'm doing for Quilts of Valor or a military quilt with like flags or red, white, and blue. So this bag, I fold a bag in fourths. Some of you guys, I have old videos that you can look at. I fold it in fourths. Then I take my rotary cutter and I cut 2-inch strips. They end up looking like this. And you see this? This is the end of this piece. So I take one end of the loop and I stick it under. This is the way that you can do big plastic strips without, hello, I bring it every day. Thank you for coming back. And then you slip it through. But you don't have to write it down or anything. I have whole videos or lives where I was doing this. And you pull it, and there you have it, Plarn. So if this was a rug that I wanted to start with a smaller hook, I have my Plarn already done. And I'm making the first stitch. And then you just chain and crochet it like you would any other crochet. Like to make, a lot of you like that circle rug. So I start with like 4 stitches, go into the first stitch, make a slip knot, but I won't go into it. If you guys want to, those of you who really want to crochet, we'll have individual classes. I was trying to set up some memberships where we could have classes. You tag me on Unboxing Queen. Oh, you did get it. The post office tried to tell me I didn't have a good address. Thank you. I've been MIA because I'll tell you why. With outside planting all the stuff in zone 6B, we're just getting to plant this week. Except some people like Yankee Sister has a garage. My whole apartment is my garage. My family comes here and they look around and says, Nana, you can't bring anything else in here. I don't. They gave me stuff for Mother's Day. I took several pieces out. I take food. I go downstairs, put it on the community table. I share. I can't help it if I'm so loved. So anyway, that's what's going on with the prepper bed. I call it a prepper bed. It's known in the community as a homeless bed, but not everybody homeless uses it. Hello, GT Junior grows in Alaska. These are good for camping or anything outside. One of the other things I did this week while I was so busy, I will show you Miss Mignon in a minute. I took my big, it depends on what you call big. I took an advanced embroidery class for my embroidery machine because most of us buy machines and we just wing it or figure it out, do this or that. But one of the things I got there, and it's a 2-class series, so I'll be going back next Wednesday as well. I had the Zoom meeting on the final completion of my top in African fabrics of a Mother's Day challenge that I did. But they gave us a sheet where it tells you the garment or fabric, and then what the design density is and the type of backing. Well, number one, for those of you embroidery, it says rule of thumb number one, cutaways provide better stability than tearaways. Rule of thumb number two, the more unstable the fabric, the heavier the backing should be. Rule of thumb number three, with light colored fabrics, no show much, no show mesh is a must. There's one that's like kind of a pink color, but for those who have light colors and you have dark skin, they also have a black or a darker one. So you it can depend or put two together. And then rule of thumb number four, to prevent scratching, and this includes what you're doing on your domestic machine. Use soft backing or use fusible backing on the back side of embroidery. You know how you have shirts and you have something embroidered and you have that thing that scratches you? I have a thing on some of the tags on the back of my neck. They scratch my skin raw. I have very sensitive skin. Hi, Brett. Thank you for coming. Oh, Brett loves to crochet and has a wonderful channel. He prays and crochets. And then rule of thumb number five, adhesive back fabrics. Let me start over again, tongue tied. Adhesive backings are a must for hard to hoop items. Then they gave you all these things for the class. It was like it was about 2 or 3 hours yesterday, and I had to drag this big heavy machine, this big embroidery arm. I took one of my bigger hoops. Oh, it was a lot, but the maintenance man put it in the car for me. Then when I got there, somebody took it out. And then Rachel, or those of you who are interested in embroidering, some of you have it. Here's an embroiderer's compass where it tells you the same information that the paper had, and it's called Dime Designs in Machine Embroidery. It says the embroiderer's compass takes the guesswork out of matching fabrics, needles, and stabilizers. Some of the needles you use, some some of the needles you use will put holes in your fabric or tear people's items up, and especially if you're doing it for pay. I just looked at this. Yeah, it was $24.99, but it can save you money in the long run by not. The last thing you want to do is have somebody's one of a kind item and you're supposed to be embroidering their initials on it. My grandson is a golfer. I've already promised him some golf towels, and those are very, very popular items, Rachel, because every golfer has to wipe their clubs off before they put them back. Then this I bought because I think I learned the hard way by trial and error. But this is a machine embroidery in 6 easy lessons. Doesn't matter what type of an embroidery you have, and it includes angle finder, centering ruler, target stickers. But this book was supposed to be $39.99, $40, and I got it for 10 by taking this class. Well, see, the reason it was hot out there, my Yankee sister, I'm going to throw her under the bus, was because I get up. Well, I'll just put it this way. I get up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. As you know, what is it? Can't stop walking, but I like mowing. Up. And so I'm outside early. I'm back in, 9, 10 o'clock, except for this week. I've been out there until about noon because I'm trying to catch up with Yankee sister. Okay. So, and one thing before we go over to the studio area, time goes so fast. Some of you who have loved ones who have passed or whatever. I want to show you something. I actually had one, my mother had one quilt when my grandpa, oh, Garden State Gardener, thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And this in the middle, my mother had one shirt when Grandpa Charlie passed, and he's buried in the family cemetery. The Thomas Family Cemetery is a registered historic landmark in the state of Pennsylvania. Everybody's birth dates, everybody's in there has been investigated by the government and verified. And my mother's maiden name was Thomas, and my grandpa Charlie is buried there. He was born in 1899, but after I made her quilt, I fussy cut his shirt into all these little squares like you see in the middle. Then after my I made my mother's quilt, I had a couple blocks, so I put this one in there, and I'm going to send this to my sister Joanne Stevens, so she'll have a part of our grandpa's shirt, and you guys can do the same thing. You don't have to make a whole quilt, just a little something, just a little something. You could have your coffee on it or a tea. Knowing Joanne, my sister Joanne Stevens, she'll just have it and look at it. She collects things. No, my daughter's Mother's Day present isn't finished yet. It's still over there, but she's traveling. So by the time she gets, and here's the card to go with it. So, like, I budget my time. I had other things that were more pressing, but I do a little bit every day. I do a little bit every day. And concerning the hat that I put on my art quilt out of a piece of that African fabric, we always talk about books. And this is what I had in the back of my mind. I've had this book maybe 10, 15, oh, it says, Mom, happy Mother's Day. You continue to inspire me in every way. Love always, Sonia. My daughter gave me this book in I guess it was around her birthday in 2002. And what this book is about, portraits of Black women in church hats. And it's really interesting. I was telling you, like, back in the day, let me pull you back over so you can see some of these hats. They're called crowns. There was a local theater here in New Haven, and there was a play. There was a play called Crowns. Mike says it was raining, so he couldn't plant. Yankee's sister waits until the hot part of the day, so she can't plant. Wah wah wah. So going back to this book, Crowns, it is so interesting. It shows like all these different hats. All Actually, this is an autographed copy of this book that my daughter got me. And I love books. You see all those books behind my quilts. Look at this hat. My sister Joanne Stevens said I should put some tulle on Miss Mignon's quilt. That's what I named this fancy lady and this quilt. Sonia is a doll. She's so good. She's not good only good to her mother. She's good to everybody. This is another hat, but you don't just wear these hats. You wear your hats, you have to have a certain attitude with it. Like the the crown of England. What color is it? What color is it? It is purple. You know, back in the day, not just anybody could wear purple. I must have been royalty back a few centuries ago in my DNA. It's interesting though. The Pankey family history. I've been talking about the Thomas family history. On the Pankey family history through DNA, one of my cousins who who happens to live in, I think, Virginia, traced her DNA, and it goes back to in some queen in Madagascar. Mike says, I'm picking on you. They no, I'm jealous because you all ahead of me. Ahead of me. I have stuff to do. I have stuff to do. Stuff to do. And okay, Yankee sis is gonna say name try to call rank. Oh, the back of the book has all these hats. So I saw a piece of the African fabric that I had that I could make into a hat. And that's what I was doing. I used to tell my kids, like, my mother always said, sit up straight, sit up straight. And I tell them, have you ever seen the Queen of England with her crown, cock, ace, deuce, or whatever? No, there's a certain way. Hey, Miss Shirley OG Gardner, thank you for coming. She's listening in the garden. She's going to pass out by the time she goes live today. Miss Shirley OG Gardner, you guys, has a channel, and she goes live on Thursdays at, I believe, 7 o'clock. So we still have about a few minutes, and I'm going to take you over to the work area so that you could see how Miss Mignon is coming along. I guess I did more chatting than working. I'm all tuckered out. That garden, even though, and then my sister Joanne, she throws me under the bus. She says, well, you're sitting in your chair. Yeah, but I still got to scratch the soil up. I gotta scratch the soil up. Oh, sorry, somebody's calling me and I'm live. Okay. So I will put this over here and I will show you Miss Mignon. Dun, 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 dun. So look how she has changed. For those of you who are new, she started out as this drawing. It's a drawing that I made, a hand drawing. Then I cut the pieces out. And I sewed them on. But what I want you to see is, look what I did early this morning. 4 o'clock this morning, I sewed cowrie shells around her neck for a necklace, and I gave her a cowrie shell earring. Her face is now tacked down, sewn down. There will be more stitching for the quilting, but I wanted you to see it in stages. Her lips are sewn, and Mike, do you see the eye bright in her eye? And it's not just a glob painted there. And I sewed eyelashes on her. And the fabric on her nose was black and white. And hello, K655. Thank you for coming. You can't see it good? Can you see it better? Can you maybe she was too close. This is a MacBook. It has a very powerful camera, but doesn't she look realistic when you look at her? And oh yes, she's wearing that church hat. Oh yes, she is. Oh yes, she is. Yankee sister says she's fly. Well, she's going to be better than that. And then to make it, because it's an art quilt, I wanted to put quilting on it. So I individually made all of these half square triangles. No two are next to each other that are alike. And going back to what I was talking about on the rugs, you don't put white on the floor. You can buy RIT dye to dye your fabric, those old sheets for making them, or you can boil tea bags and use like an old canning pot or something like that, and actually boil the fabric. I did that with a lot. I bought unbleached muslin in big packages, and I clipped the corners so it wouldn't ravel. And then I boiled them and then made my own like neutrals in different colors so they wouldn't be like on the side. You see up close, they're all like different colors of tan and neutral and bright. And then the only real white that you see here is actually like in the hat. And then as far as an art quilt, what I'm going to do around here, and see there's one little string. It was just sitting on top of there, but I didn't see it until I blew it up and took a picture of it. So I cut across her hat like this. And see, these are the little details that turn it from a craft into an art. Then I have some fabric paint, and I have two kinds of purple in here. I have this purple. It's not quite the same color. Then maybe I'll put a little pink in there and mix it, or some red. I will show you what I'm going to do, because some of you might have some fabric that needs a little something more, or especially if you decide to do a portrait quilt. So this is a little closer to it. And what I'm going to do is take my little palette. Some of you know that I paint, and I'm going to mix the color with my paintbrush. Then I'm going to carefully go along the bottom part. Why? So that it matches the purple around the trim of the hat, including the faces, including the spaces over there. Do I have to do that? No, I don't have to do it. That's just what I like to do as an artist. And then this is what I'm going to use for the binding on this art quilt. Hello, can't stop walking, but love mowing and cruising. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. So this is going to be a double binding, where it's a 2.5 strip of fabric, 2.5 inches, and I miter the corners and sew them together into a long strip. I like the gold in here, and I thought it would bring out the dark colors in the background. It still has to be quilted, the 3 layers. This is the top. What I do when I'm stitching the face and the top part, I like to put, for myself, this is batting. It happens to be black. Why? Because when you're stitching, whether it's on a regular sewing machine or something, when I put this real close to here, I think you can see those little holes at, I'll try to give the camera a chance to catch it. There's little holes along the sides of the stitches, and that keeps, let me try it again. That keeps the light from shining through if you're hanging a quilt, or if you have a quilt with dark fabrics. The backing is a piece of feet sack fabric that's actually historical. It was made in 1943. So the next thing on Saturday, we're going to do a different project actually, but I will show you on here where I've taken the top and the batting and attached it to the backing, right now the top is only attached to the batting, and stitch through it, then it's almost done. Does anybody have any questions? Yankee Sister says, every touch you make it so awesome. Beautiful color. I like I like the details. That's what sets your work apart from anybody else's, the details. Like for this actual project, it was supposed to be a mother and child, but like I said, I didn't get the pattern. I will be sharing the pattern with you in case you guys would like to make it along with me. But there were 500 or 600 people signed up for this class, and they all, except Auntie Ellen, made the same project. No two looked alike. No two looked alike. So Saturday, what we're going to do, like you see me bending down, I see a lot of you guys bending down, looking at your cameras, doing these lives. We're going to make a laptop stand. A lot of the things we do, we have to do on stands. So we're sitting on a sofa or someplace comfortable because we're sitting talking for hours, hours, hours. I have that little special whoopee cushion that I sit on that's really comfortable. My back doesn't hurt or anything. Maria Graham, you got one. How's yours working? Do you like it? And so what I'm going to do is take a heavy duty cardboard box about yay high. I'm going to cover it in batting and then glue it almost like a Christmas package. And I'm going to use that to make my computer up this much higher. Then I can angle it down towards my sewing machine and whatnot. I like using the MacBook because the words and things, sometimes when you use your phone and you have it, I guess the forward camera or something, the names and everything look back or backwards. You can't read what they're saying. So yes, the details make the difference, Unbiased says. You guys, if you go to her channel and you watch her on her embroidery machine, she does like I do. Most of my rulers I put up, I try to clean my area before I go live. But you measure the width on the sides. You want to make sure that everything is straight. You don't want to give somebody something that looks hocus pocus. And for those of you who just came in, Rachel Unbiased LLC said that I have to go look at her unboxing. I sent her some fabrics. When I first started quilting, there were a lot of fabrics. There were not a lot of African fabrics or batiks around. And one of my friends gave me a pack with just 100 5-inch squares. And then I milked that. I made my daughter the most beautiful 4-patch quilt. I mixed that with 100 squares of Kona Black and made her a queen size quilt. And then I said, when I meet people who genuinely want to quilt and I see them working on a project, I'm going to pay it forward and do that for somebody else. Speaking of which, I have goosebumps. I'm almost going to cry. I was in this fancy sewing machine shop where I was taking my embroidery class, and I bought a stylus for my embroidery machine. And I told the lady, she says, well, you have to pay for it. I said, well, I gave you my card number 2 months ago. She said, well, it was only $5. I wasn't going to put that on a credit card. So I said, oh, okay. Well, I have to go back and get my purse. And it was a long walk. You guys, my case is on wheels. Like I said, I've got this big, huge machine, way bigger than this. The big embroidery arm, all the hoops, all the thread, all the other thing. So there was a gentleman standing at the corner. He said, Miss, I have $5. I said, oh, no, thank you, sir. I can't take your money. He says, it's my blessing. Don't deny me a blessing. Oh, my goodness. I said, I tried not to cry until I got back in the other room. And I guess he wanted me to get out of the way so he could pay for her stuff. And then I was telling my class, and they said, there are good people in the world. There are so many good people. You have to give them a time. And like he said, don't deny me a blessing. People will bless you. It's not begging, it's what. And I felt kind of like bad growing up. My dad would never let us take money from anybody, uncles, whatever, especially men, us little girls. You don't take money from strange men. But I knew that he was trying to be kind, and I could handle it, anything else. So, you guys, I want to thank you for coming. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. If you're watching the rewind, please leave me a message so I will know that you're here, you guys. And I will see you Saturday at 6 o'clock. And we will be making a stand cover, I mean, a box for your computer that's lightweight, not metal. And I don't trust this MacBook on those stands, or tripods. No, 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 no. They cost too much money, and I'm not knocking it over. Rachel and Vice, amen. I've learned to accept the blessing. Yes, blessings come and blessing go. Awesome live tips. Stay cool in this heat. No heat. I go outside and do what I'm doing, and I'm back in for the day. Well, Mother, if you're here, thank you. I love you. This is an I in American Sign Language. This is an L. I don't know if Rudy Arahita knows American Sign Language. And this is how to say, I love you. Egawamate, Mother. Thanks for coming, everybody. Don't forget, Miss Shirley, the OG gardener, is next. Oh, and Odom's Get It Off Your Chest is coming, and Jegs later on. So thank you. Love you guys.